54 racehorses died just last season at tracks in Arizona.
State regulators and racetrack managers are trying to figure out what is killing them. Investigative reporter Morgan Lowe takes a look at what could be the problem.
The trainers at Scottsdale's Smoke Tree Ranch have taught generations of young people to ride and compete on horseback.
We start at 5 o'clock in the morning. The ground is groomed before we get the horses to the ring.
Betty Barron is the owner and head trainer. She says it takes years to get these horses prepared for the show ring. And although these animals are big and powerful,
they're very fragile for as large as they are.
The best show horses at their athletic and mental peak are at least 10 years old.
Our horses, hopefully, there's an element of longevity. If you look at the World Cup, the FEI, or the Olympic horses, those are not young horses. They're not.
But these are show horses, hunters and jumpers, as they're called. And it's a much different type of equestrian sport that has found itself in a negative spotlight: racing, because these much younger horses, some as young as 2 and 3, are getting injured and dying at alarming rates. Across the country, an average of 1.39 racehorses died for every 1,000 racing starts this past year. In Arizona, that number was 2.54 deaths per 1,000 starts. That translates to 54 horse deaths at commercial racetracks in Arizona this past year.
Well, there are hundreds of horses that die each year on racetracks across the country. Right now, for example, Turf Paradise out in Arizona is having a slew of deaths.
The problem has caught the attention of the State Racing Commission.
We keep pulling stunts like this, we're going to be out of business. We keep killing horses like this, we're going to be out of business. And I have to ask myself, how did we get to this point?
At this meeting in February, regulators complained that state lawmakers cut their budget by $1 million, costing them a state veterinarian and a safety steward.
The number of horses that have died here, it seems like an unusually high number. How do you explain that?
It is high by the Jockey Club standard of starts per thousand. It's a high number. We're above the national average. How to explain it, I don't think there's any one answer.
Vince Francia is the general manager of Turf Paradise. He says there are likely several causes of the injuries that led to the deaths, but it does not appear that they are related to the turf, the ground on the track.
This year we had 18 horses suffer fatality during the 124-day meet, and yet 7,435 horses raced safely. So that data is telling us it's not the racetrack that's the problem.
Most tracks run 4 days a week. You guys do 5. Are these horses running too much?
It's a valid question to ask, and we ask the questions ourselves. Is that too many days in regards to putting pressure on horses to race too often? So that's one of the many things we are looking at.
Is there a limit to the number of starts a horse can make per week or per month?
No, currently there is not. One of the new protocols I'm suggesting to the horsemen's group and the state is that a minimum of 14 days between races. Some of the things I noticed with horses that broke down, that suffered a fatality last year, is they raced once a week for 3 weeks.
Vincent Francia says he's going to propose those changes for the next racing season. Meantime, in July, a new federal law will take effect addressing 2 issues: horse and jockey safety on the track and anti-doping. The anti-doping part will take effect in a year. I'm Morgan Lowe for Arizona's Family.
Thank you.